Hi, my name is Marvin Mason, graduating class of 2004.
0, 1. Let's get started.
Today we are joined by 2004 graduate Marvin Mason. His years as a Saxon student were filled with all the sports, but especially football and basketball. Marvin was a key part of that 2004 state championship for the Saxon boys basketball team. And since graduating, Marvin served our Salem-Keizer community as a district community resource specialist for our Office of Equity and Student Advancement, where his work focuses on serving our Black and African American students from kindergarten on up to 12th grade. Outside of work, he's raising a 12-year-old son and 11-year-old daughter, and currently is coaching his son in football and basketball. Marvin, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's good to have you. Our history goes way back. I mean, I first remember playing against you. It's got to be middle school, and I was at Judson. You were at Leslie, and some of those old basketball days, and football, I assume too. But yeah, man, share a little bit about growing up in Salem. Were you here your whole childhood? Did you move in? What was that like?
Yeah, I moved here when I was pretty young. I'd say like 3 from Arizona. My dad moved us here. Me and my little brother grew up in South Salem here, went to Morningside Elementary, then to Leslie, and then on here to South. So pretty much stayed in Salem my whole childhood and throughout school.
Yeah.
So it was really good. I love Salem-Keizer. Yeah, I love growing up here. A lot of connections, a lot of people that I grew up with, I still have connections with to this day. Yeah,
similar. I moved here when I was about 3 and kind of grew up South Salem area, and then left. But Salem's a black hole in some ways, where it just kind of sucks you back in, especially when you start having kids and your family's here, all of that. But how about your 4 years as a Saxon? What do you remember most from being a South Salem student, walking these halls? Yeah, that.
Walking the halls brings back a lot of memories, and I remember my classes, my teachers, even though it was 20 years ago. But it was nice. I loved like the connections I made, my friends. I was really just happy to come to school, to socialize and see my buddies. It was a good time.
Yeah, do you remember favorite classes, favorite teachers?
Yeah. Mr. Defoe's class. I love Mr. Defoe's class. Miss August, math class. She helped me out a lot. She's actually one of the teachers I really, really remember as far as like helping me out. Like, hey, Marvin, you got to get this done, like keeping me in line a little bit. But yeah, Mr. Havercroft, PE class, and he was coach, obviously, but him, Mr. Haugen. Yeah, there's a lot of teachers and classes that I remember and definitely liked.
Yeah, as we're recording this is Mrs. August last week as a teacher here. She retires officially on Friday, heads off into being a grandparent and just living life outside of teaching. Although I'm sure, knowing her, she'll be back. This is a special place. And to hear you and so many other of our alumni talk about her and the impact that she had is pretty special. So
yeah, that's good for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Played football, played basketball. What do you remember from those teams? And we'll get to that 2004 state championship here in a sec. But
yeah, basketball and football, I learned a lot, just like teamwork, like some brotherhood. Pretty much, I learned a lot from. Created some really good friendships. And it was just a lot of fun. It was just fun to be a part of, especially as a young kid, and just seeing the older guys in football going on, playoff road trips and stuff like that. It was just really cool learning from them as I got older. Just the connections, and like I said, with basketball, a lot of those guys that were on my basketball team, I'm still connected with right now to this day.
Yeah, we were just talking about right before we started recording, you got to go watch a game down at Willamette over the break with a lot of those teammates and reminisce. It's the 21st anniversary, I suppose. This is 2005. You won in 2004. Talk about that team. Did you guys know you had something special at the beginning of the season? Was this state championship something you talked about? Was that the goal?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely was a goal.
Yeah.
We knew we were special. We had a good group of guys that all got along and knew their role. So that summer, we actually went to Gonzaga basketball camp. We went out there, and there were a lot of teams from other states and areas, some really, really good teams. And we went out there and pretty much dominated and won the whole camp tournament. So we knew we had something special coming back home after that. And going through the season, we just were clicking and everything was just getting better. It was just a great year for all of us.
Yeah, I remember that team being, obviously Jeremiah is the leader in terms of offensive player of the year for the state and doing the things that he would do. But especially those role players, each fit that system so well. And it wasn't like Jeremiah scoring 50 and the rest of you are just kind of watching it. The way that you would all get involved, the fluid motion, like you were really selfless teams and at least in my memory, and an exciting team to watch. What did it take for you guys to gel in that way?
I think it just took a lot of time together, practices. We actually a lot of us were together middle school.
Right.
So then growing up high school all the way through senior year, it was just the connection, the trust we had within each other. And just going back to knowing your role. Like you said, Jeremiah was state player of the year. So we had the best player in the state.
Yeah.
Then we had other Alex Vite, Steve Taylor, Brett Peterson, all those guys, and then other guys that came off the bench like myself. We all just knew our role and knew what we had to do to get wins. And shout out to Coach Havercroft. He was the one organizing everything, so he's the mastermind of everything. So that's pretty much.
Yeah, exciting time, and the fact that we can still celebrate you now. I mean, that banner's hanging in our gym, and it's certainly anyone who remembers that team and you guys as players, just ultimate respect for what you guys accomplished, even 20 years later.
Thank you.
So,
appreciate it.
Yeah, and a little jealousy coming across town and watching you dominate, being the one that was getting beat over those years. Just was a lot of respect, even though we had a rivalry, knowing that there was something special about that team. So congrats again. Talk about after graduation, what was life like from that point forward?
Oh man! After graduation, I went to Chemeketa for a couple of years. Stayed the local route, and then I actually moved up. I was like, I'm sick of Salem. I've lived here my whole life, so I actually just packed up my little Honda and drove out to Arizona. And I was going to community college out there. Moved in with the aunt that lived out there because a lot of family I still live out there. My grandpa and aunts and uncles lived there at the time. So I lived out there for a little bit, was going to community college, going through the struggle of living on my own.
Young adulthood.
Yeah, so that wasn't working out so well. So I moved back home. Luckily, I got a job out there working for Nike. Moved back home, was working at Nike here, continued going to school. I went to PCC for a little bit. Still wasn't taking school as serious. Then I pretty much stopped going to school, started working a lot. Worked my way up at Nike pretty good. And I got to a point to where I couldn't really grow much more without a degree. So sort of had to make the choice of what I'm going to do after that. I'm going to, go back to school or if I'm going to just do something else. Then I got another job opportunity working for the district and coaching at McKay. So I jumped on that because something I was actually passionate about is coaching and I always thought I wanted to do. So I pretty much jumped on that and started working for the district. And here we are.
Yeah. Share a little bit more about your role, what you're doing for our district and for our students.
So right now, my role as a community resource specialist, I pretty much work with African-American students, kindergarten through 12th grade. If it's like attendance things, if they might need rides, to school, there might be an issue going on, just anything. If there's something, a barrier they might have, I'm there to pretty much help them with that. Like I said, I work K through 12, so I see a variety of different students, but I'm mainly located in high schools. Like I start my day in high schools, so I'm at West Salem, McNary, and McKay throughout the week, and then I go to other schools as needed. But yeah, I serve a lot of students, not just African-American students also. Right. I'm in the hall. I meet from coaching also. I have a lot of different students and I work with a lot of them. I enjoy it a lot.
Oh, that's great. And I got to see you in action last year because South was one of your schools that you were serving, and just seeing you in the hallways connecting with students. Yeah, absolutely. Any type of student, any student who you are able to connect with, you're doing it. Like, that's just, I could see that in your personality and your ability to just speak truth and, value into their lives as you're meeting with them. Big smile, recognizing people. Yeah, it's just such a gift that you have, such a strength that you have. And it was really obvious. What are you noticing? What are the trends in students right now? What are the big barriers that you're seeing? What are the ways students are showing up every day?
I would say it's just motivation. Some kids are just not motivated.
Yeah.
And I feel it's some things we need to make them a little bit more exciting. I feel like clubs are a good thing to have in schools.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot more clubs in schools than there were when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I felt like if I was in high school, I would definitely join some of these clubs because it's a good way to meet other students and
totally.
feel included. And then you would want to come to school more. So I think that's one of the main barriers is, just a sense of belonging.
Yeah, the reality of public education right now is we are forcing or jamming so many kids into these schools that were built for 16, 17, 1800 students. And yet we're at South, started the year with about 2,300. Now we're almost 2,200. And yeah, how do we make a huge school feel really small? And one of the best ways to do that is through that activity participation, whether it's clubs, whether it's sports, whether it's a music program, getting kids involved in smaller settings so that they, one, know their peers, and two, are known by other adults and start feeling like they do have that sense of belonging. And then how that moves forward and wanting to be at school, wanting to do well in school, having more people that you're accountable to. So yeah, I'm seeing that as well. And any clubs that you're noticing, they're like, oh man, this is hopping at these other schools.
Yeah, well, I don't know about South because I haven't really been here too much, but I know that Black student unions out at West and McNary for sure, they're really thriving.
Yeah.
Kids are coming together. A lot of kids that have never met each other.
Yeah.
They're building friendships, which is really good. Doing community things, even having small things like potlucks.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's just exciting. And when you can invite other kids, and it's Black Student Union, but you don't have to, it's not just, you have to be Black to come. It's like anyone is welcome.
Right.
It's a community thing.
Right. So. And that kind of launches us into, we're featuring you. Your spotlight's going to run during our Black History Month spotlights for former Saxon students. And also your story is one that we celebrate any time of the year, right? It's not just a month, but talk about Black History Month. What does that mean for you? When I say that out loud, what's important about that month?
I feel like just when I think about it, it's just like a time where Black people were oppressed and stuff like that. But it's, other than that, it's also a time to celebrate the achievements of Black people and think how far we have came. So just me personally, it's just a time to be proud, and show it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've made us proud. Certainly someone that we want to celebrate too. So thanks for jumping in with us today. Let's launch into, we've got big 4 questions that we try to ask every person on the interview. Those 4 questions are brought to us by the Saxon Success Fund. And if anyone wants information on Saxon Success Fund, they can go to saxonsuccessfund.org. And right now they are launching a lot of great initiatives to support our students as they head off into college. A lot of scholarships provided through the Saxon Success Fund. So we thank them for these big 4 questions, and certainly for making this podcast and these interviews possible, especially for our school. So knowing where you are today, you've mentioned a few of those names, but knowing where you are today, all that you've got up to, like who has made it possible for you?
I would say it's staff here. Staff here at the school growing up they were really helpful. I never thought that I would be working for the district.
Right.
Now, and coming back to school and seeing some of the stuff that helped me, it's very motivating for me to continue, working for the district and continue my schooling, because I definitely need to go back and get some education. But it means a lot. My family had been a lot of support, big support for me.
Yeah.
and my friends as well. Yeah. So all around, I feel like I have a good support system that brought me to where I am now.
Yeah, you mentioned 2 kids, right? 12 and 11. What's it like being a dad and raising them in this, this world that we've got?
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Every time I get home from work, actually, it's just a reminder of what I do. Working with students is a big reason. Just being a dad, it also just translate into working with students. I can connect with them, I think, really well just because of having my kids.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could go back and give yourself, your high school version of yourself, some advice, what advice would you give?
I would say I would probably tell myself to make getting good grades a priority, or school. I think it will open up a lot more opportunities going forward. I was sort of a knucklehead during school, but I took care of business. I got good grades, but I could have done better if I was really focused.
Yeah, I heard a question yesterday from another counselor that I thought, gosh, I'm going to use that. I'm going to borrow that. I'm going to steal it, actually. But the question that he asked, shout out to Mr. Bueno here at South Salem, but what he asked students is like, are these grades that I'm looking at with you right now, are they the best version of yourself? Are they representative of the grades that you can get? And the way that he asked that, gosh, I think about it in terms of myself and my high school self. Like, I was a knucklehead and I didn't take it as seriously as possible. And so, I appreciate that advice, because I feel like our students, the value of that grade, the doors that can be opened in those moments and beyond high school I'm in the game of keeping as many doors as possible open for students. And anytime that I see a grade with them that is going to shut a door, it's sometimes it can be heartbreaking to be able to say, okay, I think this door is shut right now. Let's go find another door that we can walk through. But yeah, you're right. The grades especially can be a door opener for sure. Yeah. Similar question 3. If you could talk about, like, if there is one thing that you learned after high school that you wish that you knew in high school, or you wish the high school students you're working with now, like, what's the message you try to share with your students?
I would say try to be more open, just more open to meeting new people, because like now, just knowing like the people I work with now, and some of them are people that I went to high school with even, or we're connected through sports and at other schools, so I feel like just building those relationships early would be good. And that's what,
Yeah, the power of relationship.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not that we get into relationships to manipulate anything. It's that it's the value that it's added when you do form those connections.
Yeah, I was pretty much sort of like closed off a little bit in high school. We had our little group and that was it. But going back, I think I'd be like a lot more into other clubs that were available. I never looked into them when I was in high school, but
that's good stuff. If you could transform South Salem High School, I mean, you've now been here as a student and have worked here. If you could transform our school in one way, and I'll even extend that, like public education in one way, Salem-Keizer school district, if you could transform us in one way, what do you think you would do?
I think just more clubs are definitely good. Different high schools have different clubs going on, different club amounts, situations, breakouts, and stuff like that. But I think the more clubs, the better. Even if it's like during like advisory time, there's a sneaker club, or puzzle club. Like there's all these different things that kids are interested in, and just being included in something like that would be good. I think something that's district wide that I would change is just being on the same page about sometimes language use, words that kids are using to put other kids down. I think coming together as a district and having a certain policy about that.
Yeah. You mentioned you just did a presentation, first one of its kind, to our middle schools. Talk about that.
Yeah. So we did use of the N-word, how to combat the use of the word in classrooms, and just giving some pretty much things that teachers can use when they hear the word, and how to educate students about the word.
Yeah.
So it was great. It's something that hopefully we can get going district wide.
Yeah. Do you see a growing need for that? Do you see it's kind of, one off, or do you think it would be important to put a system in place where, gosh, as sixth graders, you're coming into middle school, here's the presentation you're going to get at every school?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is something that is needed, just so we can get back to the way it was, because it didn't used to be like that. The language wasn't accepted at all back even when I was in high school.
Right.
So I think getting that started young while they're in middle school would definitely help by the time they get to high school, and overall help the district.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for doing that work. That's super important. We also have some rapid fire questions for you. Favorite place in Salem to eat?
Favorite place in Salem to eat? Ooh, I would say Chula Vista.
Chula Vista. Where is that?
It's a Mexican restaurant off of State and Lancaster.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
it's great.
What's your go-to on the menu there?
I like the burrito. Burrito's pretty good. Yeah, chicken burrito.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite place you've ever visited?
Let's see. Puerto Vallarta. Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. Your shoe game is always very solid. Favorite shoe?
Favorite shoe. Ooh.
How about this? Favorite shoe you own, and then what's the one you're chasing?
My favorite shoe I own would have to be. Ooh, that's a tough one. My bread ones or shattered backboard ones. Yeah, I actually got shattered backboard ones. Shoes that I'm chasing would have to be. I don't know. I'm not really chasing any shoes, honestly. I have so many shoes. Because I worked at Nike for like 8 years. So I was just buying stuff. And collecting. I always loved shoes since I was younger. But actually, I would say Bread 11. I don't have any Bread 11s. I got rid of them a long time ago. But Bread 11.
Bring those back. Yeah. Okay. Who else should we interview?
Ooh. That's a good one. Do you you mean like
Saxon students? Yeah, former students.
Student?
Yep.
Ooh. Did you interview Aaron Haugen yet?
Not yet. He's in the building and he's on the list.
I would say Haugen. Yeah. I played football with Haugen.
Yes.
Yeah, we graduated the same year. Yep. And I would say he's a wonderful guy. Yeah. Wonderful teacher here. Yep. Kids speak very highly of him.
Yeah. Okay. Aaron Haugen, we're coming for you. Any final shout outs before we let you go?
Shout out to Mrs. August. Yes. Like I said, Mr. Havercroft, Mr. Defoe, Mr. Whipple. Yep. He was the coach I had back here. He's over at West now teaching. He has kids that are going there as well. Shout out to my basketball teammates and football teammates from 04.
That was a good crew, solid crew. And Marvin, you're one of those ones that we, for a long time, have wanted to spotlight. So I appreciate you hopping in with us today and getting an opportunity to learn more about you, especially just seeing you and the work you're doing across our district has been inspiring. It pushes me to be a better version of myself every day. So thank you for the work you're doing, the energy that you bring into the job, and the connections you're making. It's making a difference for sure.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, appreciate it.
That does it for our interview with Marvin. Thanks so much to him for his willingness to jump in with us. Thanks so much to the Saxon Success Fund and to Saucetown Properties. We appreciate you all for tuning in. Have a great week. Go Saxons.